Have you been wondering if the Birmingham housing market is finally starting to shift? Hi everyone, I'm Remski with at Properties Christie's International Real Estate, and welcome back. For the past few weeks, I've been talking about something that goes against what a lot of people assume happens this time of year. Everyone thinks the housing market stops, but that's not the case. People, of course, are taking vacation and kids are out of school. Weekends are spent at the lake or on the golf course or the pickleball court, or simply enjoying everything Michigan summers have to offer. But the market, it still moves, and this week's numbers are actually a great example of why I've been encouraging my buyers not to put their home search on hold just because it's July. Let's take a look at the numbers. Here's what's happening this week in Birmingham. We currently have 92 active homes, which is up 8.2%. 18 new listings, which is up an impressive 50% from last week. 6 homes went pending, 4 sold. Inventory increased to 3.1 months, and homes are still selling in a median of just 6 days. And 33% of homes are still selling over the asking price. Those numbers may sound like they tell two very different stories, and in some ways they probably do. On one hand, buyers have more homes to choose from. On the other hand, well-priced homes, well-prepared homes are still selling quickly. And that's exactly why simply just reading the statistics isn't enough. What does this mean for buyers? Well, if you're buying, the biggest takeaway this week is choice. One of the biggest frustrations I've been hearing throughout the spring season is there just isn't anything available or there's no inventory. Well, this week alone, Birmingham added 18 new listings. That's meaningful. Does it suddenly make it a buyer's market? No. But homes are still selling in 6 days, and 1 out of every 3 homes is still selling above asking price. Buyers may have something they haven't had in a while. They have a little more breathing room, a little less pressure. Maybe you can compare 2 homes instead of 1. Maybe you don't feel like you have to write an offer the first day a home hits the market. Maybe you finally see a home that checks a few more boxes. That's why I keep encouraging my buyers to stay engaged, even though it's summer. Enjoy the season, of course. Take a vacation, why not? Just don't completely disconnect from your home search. Sometimes opportunities appear when fewer people are paying attention. What does this mean for sellers? Well, if you're selling, these numbers do not mean you should panic. Quite the opposite. Homes are still selling quickly, and well-prepared homes are still attracting really strong interest. But as inventory grows, buyers naturally begin comparing homes. And this means preparation matters even more. Pricing matters, presentation matters, professional photography matters. Does this all sound familiar? The little details matter. When I meet with a seller, I do a lot before we even go live because I want to tell the best story. Sometimes that's rearranging the furniture, which I've done, bringing in accessories, which I've done, and it's recommending small improvements that might make a big difference in how buyers experience the home. As buyers have more options, these details become super important. And one thing I always encourage everyone to remember is this. Real estate isn't just about 1 week's number, it's about trends and understanding what those trends mean for your situation. For the past few weeks, I've been saying not to let summer distract you if moving has already been on your mind. This week's numbers reinforce exactly why. Market continues to change and new opportunities continue to appear, and staying engaged means you're ready when the right home or the right buyer comes along. Whether you're buying, selling, or simply watching the market, my goal is always the same: to help you understand what's happening and how it applies to you. I don't want to just read you statistics. I want to interpret that data and let you know how it applies to your situation. Market changes every week, but the right decision isn't based on 1 week's numbers, right? It's based on how those numbers apply to your goals. If you'd like to know more about these numbers and what they mean for your neighborhood or your home's value or buying or selling plans, I'd be happy to help. And if you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next week with another Birmingham market conversation.